sometimes we look at Bible characters and we misunderstand them a lot of times and misinterpret them. And I guess the one that bothers me the most is Thomas. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I've never seen Thomas as being doubting Thomas. I think that's a bad label. I think Thomas showed great faith in Jesus Christ. But he was answering Jesus. He was answering that situation because Jesus had warned him about somebody else coming and pretending to be Jesus. And he was saying, I'll not believe it until I see the facts. I don't see any doubt in his life. The only one of the apostles that I feel a little sorry for Judas. Because he was with Jesus and for 3.5 years and now he's in hell. I do feel a little sorry for him. I feel sorry for anybody that has to go to hell, that chooses to go to hell and does not choose to go to heaven. But he could have done the same thing Peter done. He could have repented with a godly repentance, and he could have come back, and he would have had a life in heaven in eternity, the same as everyone else, because God forgives all sins. But I want you to think about Peter today and put yourself in Peter's place. Because if we can't put ourselves in Peter's place, we're in trouble. I want you to listen to and think about the agony that Peter went through. And I believe it was a great amount of agony. I don't believe it was little. I want you to look at the statement being made about him here in Matthew chapter 26, beginning at verse 75. It says, And Peter remembered the words of Jesus, which said unto him, Before the cock crows, thou shalt deny me thrice for 3 times. And he went out and wept bitterly. He went out and wept bitterly. This was a broken man. I don't know if you've ever been broken down to where it seemed like nothing mattered any longer. But this man was broken. Because of the things he had done, because of the things I'm talking about from the beginning with Jesus all the way up to the end. From the beginning, he was a man of strength more than anyone else of all the apostles. He was a strong man. He was a powerful man. And he brought to his knees. He's a broken man. Ask the question sometimes of yourself. Peter was told what was going to happen. What if someone come and told you that something was going to happen serious in your life? That you was going to make a decision that was the most horrible decision in your life. You're going to make this decision. And you say, no, I'll never decide to do that. I wouldn't do that at all. And then when it happens and he looks you straight in the eye. And you remember that he told you it was going to happen. This can happen to us, people. The Bible's told us over and over again what we need to do, and if we make these decisions, this is what will happen. What if we do it and then we think? We may not be able to see Jesus eye to eye, but we're going to see his word, we're going to remember it, and it's going to bring us to our knees. Who was this Peter? I'm going to assume, as I've read the scriptures, and I believe it is the truth, but I'm going to ask the question, is he the same Peter that was at the Transfiguration? Now, I don't mean physically. I mean in his spiritual well-being at this time. Is this the same Peter? The man who is part of the inner circle, as some call it, of Jesus. He had an inner circle or a group that was closer to it. Is this that Peter that at the Transfiguration in Matthew 17, and after 6 days Jesus took Peter, that Peter, James and John, his brother, and bringeth them up into a high mountain again, and was transfigured before them. And his face did shine as the sun, Jesus' face, and his raiment were white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto him Moses and Elias, and talking with them. Then answered Peter and said unto Jesus, is this the same Peter? Now think upon what he said. Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. In other words, he wanted to put Jesus up there with them. Little did he know Jesus was was way above them. He was already past what they ever were. But Peter was asking and was making this statement in his honest heart that he felt so great about Jesus that he put him among the greatest men in the history of the world. Verse 5, while he yet spake, behold, a bright light cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of heaven, out of the clouds, which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. Or putting an end to the taller concept that these others are even partly close to him. But this Peter was strong in Jesus. He had the Spirit to be a part of what God wanted everything to be. He wanted to do all he could for Jesus. Strong, powerful. Could it be the same Peter that was in the Garden of Gethsemane? You know, it says in the garden, he was the only man that had a sword. And they come to take them. And remember, Jesus said, I'll die for you, Lord. We're going to look at that too. But he comes here, and the army comes after, and says, And behold, one of them which was with Jesus stretched forth his hand. This was Peter, the Bible tells us. And drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. His name was Malchus. Then Jesus said to him, Put up again thy sword into his place. For all that take up the sword shall perish by the sword. This Peter, who was willing to sacrifice, I mean, there's an army, maybe 100 men coming to take Jesus, and he's the only one with the sword, and he pulls it out to stand against all of them. Is that the same Peter that we see here crying, bitterly mourning, a broken man? This man was powerful, ready to take on a whole army if he had to, for Jesus' sake. And then again, is it the same Jesus that was in that told Jesus he would die for him? Look at verse 33 of 26. Peter answered and said unto him, after Jesus had said everybody would deny him, it says, Peter answered and said unto him, Though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended. Jesus said unto him, Verily saith that night, before the cock crows, thou shalt deny me thrice. Peter said unto him, Though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee. Likewise, also all the disciples. You know, there's a difference. Peter meant what he said there. There's no doubt, because in the garden he pulled out the sword to fight, but every one of the rest of them run. They went back home. So this Peter, this man that is powerful and strong and so definitely wanting to be with Jesus, why was he weeping? Why was he a broken man? I can imagine what went through his mind. I deny my God. Looking back at all that Jesus had done over the 3.5 years, and the fact that Jesus told him what would happen, he remembered the words of Jesus. I think it's implying the words he said, that you will deny me 3 times, but we could also say he remembered the other words of Jesus. Remembered who Jesus was. Earlier that night in Ephesians 26 and 34, which we've already read, it said, Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto you, this night, before the cock crows, thou shalt deny me 3 times or thrice. I don't think that he remembered the word, but I think he realized what a thing he had done. You know, Jesus later on in the book of John talks to Peter again, and he relays 3 times to him, Do you love me? And Peter said, Yes, Lord, you know I love him. And he said, Do you love me? And Peter got a little bit louder with his voice being more strong. Of course, Lord, you know I love you. And a 3rd time Jesus asked him, relating to these 3 times of denial, Do you love me? And Peter was a little bit agitated at it, and then Jesus said, Go feed my sheep. He remembered the things that Jesus had said, but he also realized what he had done. Sometimes we do things without realizing it. And I'm sure that when Peter denied him 3 times, every time he didn't remember Jesus. when Peter sat without the palace, and an angel came over to him saying, thou also was with Jesus of Galilee. But he denied that before they all, saying, I know not what thou sayest. Did he really realize what he was saying when he done that? Sometimes we do something we don't realize it, and then we understand later. Well, I'm not sure he understood totally what he was doing here. And when he had gone out into the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, this fellow was also with Jesus of Nazareth. And again he denied with an oath. In other words, saying some things he probably shouldn't have said. I do not know this man. Still, I don't know that he realized what he was doing at the time. But look at 73. And after a while came unto him they that stood by and said unto Peter, surely thou art also one of them, and for thy speech betrayeth it. Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately the cock crowed. I can imagine he was standing there telling someone, I know not the man. The cock crowed, and he turned and looked, and Jesus was looking right at him. Can you imagine the chills, the fear, the pain, and misery that went through him at that time? I think we misunderstand Peter sometimes. He was a strong and powerful man, but he was a humble man too. At the time that he had to, he was a humble man. And he done the right thing here. In the end, he had godly repentance for what he done. And he repented. His life shows that he repented and turned away from the sin that he committed and followed Jesus to his dying day, as far as we know. Of course, he made a few mistakes along the line. We all do. He ate with the Gentiles and come back and forth in Galatia, and we understand that comment. But Peter was a strong defender of Jesus Christ and the truth from that day forward. I venture to put forth that he made 3 mistakes here. 3 mistakes that from the time in his life here, he made 3 powerful mistakes that led him to this place where he was weeping bitterly. The first one, I believe, was that he got too sure of himself. I can't fall. I'm following Jesus Christ. I can't fall. I'm too proud. I'll never deny you. Although I'll be offended by you, I'll never be offended by you. It sounds to me here like he was offended and denied him both. But Peter was so sure of himself. Matthew 26:33 says, Peter answered and said unto him, though all men may be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended. That's what he said. He was so sure of himself that nothing could happen. There's danger in being overconfident. You jumped on your bicycle when you was a little boy or girl and you rode that bicycle down the road and said, hey, I can do anything. So you go down through there and drive with no hands, and what happens? He's overconfident. What about driving a car on the road? We're so sure of our abilities to drive. We drive down the road, and sometimes we don't pay close enough attention, and we're in the ditch. Sometimes getting overconfident in operating a piece of heavy equipment, or laying those bricks perfectly straight, and then get back and looking after you're finished and realizing, I didn't quite do my job there. I had too much confidence in myself that I couldn't fail. But we have to understand that we all can fail. We can all fall. We're none perfect. Jesus Christ was the only one. But Peter was confident in himself. Well, Paul was too. Paul was confident, but he was cautious. Let's look at what Paul said. Verse 26, it says, I therefore so run, not as uncertain, so I fight, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be no castaway. That means castaway's lost. Paul here said, I've got a fear of becoming lost. Just because I'm preaching the gospel of Christ to others and because I'm doing it, that don't mean I can't make a mistake. Paul warns the Corinthians. He warns everybody, by the way, but the one we're going to look at. He warns the Corinthians that if you don't flee idolatry, it'll take over. If you don't flee fornication, it'll dominate your life. If you don't flee these things, and today's standard, if we don't stay away from what that stuff is, we'll get drawn in. And it's so easy. 1 Corinthians 10, 12 and 14, it said, 12 through 14, wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. When you get to a point that you think you can't fall or can't make a mistake, that's when you'll do it. That's just like in any job that you have in your life. When you get to the point that you think, I'm perfect at this job, I can't lose, then you're going to lose. And that's what he's telling them here. Verse 13, there has no temptation taken you, but it's so common unto man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that which you are able. But with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. And it's not just idolatry, it's anything that comes along. If we think we can't fall, if we think we're too good for that, we're beyond that, we're too strong for that, that's when we'll have a problem. Now, I myself believe that I'll never fall. And you should believe that right now yourself. But don't be so overconfident with it that you don't study the Word of God. Don't be overconfident with it that you don't come to worship service. Don't be so overconfident you think you don't need anything else. There's a church we're going to look at that taught that. But there's warning over overestimating yourself. There's also warnings of underestimating yourself. We need to realize who we are. And as we realize who we are, you or I, either one, must realize that we can and we just might make a mistake in our lives and not do what God expects of us. 1 Corinthians chapter 8, beginning at verse 1. It says 1 through 7, but I haven't got 1 through 7 there. Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we will have, that we all have knowledge. We all have knowledge. But listen to what it says. Knowledge puffs up, but charity edifies. Sometimes we get smart beyond our learning, don't we? And that's when it's a problem. So knowledge can cause us to be puffed up, but charity or love edifies. And if any man that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet he ought to know. But if any man loves God, the same is known of him. Although I don't care how much knowledge we get in the Bible, we need more. And we should never put ourselves above other people, and that's what love's all about, because we should always be looking at to help that other person. So he got so much within himself. Within himself, he was too proud of who he was. But that's not the only problem he had. He got too far from Jesus. Look at what it says as far as that night. It says, and they that had laid hold of Jesus led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. There's kind of a hint here that I don't like the way it says it, but it says it, and that's what the Bible is. To see the end. He went to see what happened to Jesus. He didn't go to be with Jesus. He went to see what was going to happen. So he was a little bit too far away from where he needed to be, because he needed to be near Jesus and not off in the distance. He was too far to clearly be identified to Jesus. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to be far enough away from Jesus so he could watch what was going on, but no one would think he was with Jesus. And that's what his denials were all about. No, I'm not with this man, he said. Matthew 22 and 37, Jesus said to him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. We can't follow Jesus half-heartedly. And that's what he was doing. He wasn't wanting to be so close that he would be identified with Jesus. He wanted to keep himself to the side so he could watch it. He was interested and he cared about Jesus, but he didn't want to be pulled into it. You hear these people say, I got you back, and you turn around and there's nobody there with you. They don't have you back. We can't only be half-hearted in loyalty, but we can't be half-hearted followers. If you're following at a distance, you can't really help out if help is needed. And that's what he's doing. He's following afar off. Look at the church at Laodicea. I mean, this church thought they had it. They thought, there's up at Lenore, I used to work up there. There was a church that, it was the in church. It was on partially bottom. Everybody in the community that was in it, it was a denominational church. But anybody that was there, if they went to church, they went to partially bottom. And you'll find places where churches are the church for most people to attend. You see that in the denominational world, and somewhat in the body of Christ, that church is better than the other churches. But look at Laodicea. That's the church we're talking about here. He says, I know thy works, and thou art neither hot or cold. I would thou were cold or hot, but then because thou art lukewarm and neither cold or hot, I'll spew you out of my mouth. In other words, you make me sick. That's exactly what he's saying here. You make me sick to my stomach. Verse 17, because thou sayest, I am rich and increased with goods and have nothing, and have need of nothing. And knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. This church didn't have what they needed. They were following Jesus at a distance. In other words, they wasn't close enough to really be identified as a church of Christ. They were following at a distance. They had pulled themselves away from God. They just got what they wanted and thought they had everything they needed. So they got too far from the Lord Jesus. And Jesus corrects them. We have to make a choice. And we make these choices all the time. And if we're too far away from Jesus, we won't make the right choice. Listen to what Joshua said. And if it seems evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose this day whom you shall serve. Whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land we dwelled. But as for me and my household, we shall serve the Lord. Why had the Israelite people got to the point that they couldn't decide what they wanted to do? Because they got too far from Jesus. Too far from God. Jesus wasn't around at that time. He was around, but he wasn't referring to God here. God the Father. So the Israelite people had slipped away and had been so far, and they were notorious for this. They done it all the time. They were as God's people. Not doing what they should do, but doing what they thought they should do. If we're too far away from Jesus, we can't get any strength from Jesus. Being too far away from Jesus for us today is not studying, not attending worship service, not praying daily to God. Open the Word of God and see it. Look at what James said in 4:8. He said, draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh unto you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Now think about how simple that is. Draw nigh unto God, and he will draw nigh unto you. Let's look at the opposite of that. Get far from God, and he'll get far from you. It's choices we make. Many people took too much distance between themselves and the church. They become a member of the body of Christ, and then they just kind of float around, and they don't come like they should, so they don't get nourished every day. And that's hurtful. Many people put too much distance between themselves and the faith of God, or they don't study enough as they should. They're too far away to really serve God, because they don't come to church enough, or they don't study enough to know what they need to do. And the bad thing about that is many people are far away from them and don't really realize it. Many are really too far away from them to worship the way they should, because they don't understand. if you're too far away from Jesus, you can't defend Jesus. I mean, you've got some people who think they can defend the Word of God, and then they start defending it, and they get tied up in their own thoughts because they haven't studied the Word of God enough to defend the Word of God. The Bible tells us in Philippians chapter 1, verse 16 through 17, to defend the truth, you need to be in the truth. It's simple. The one preaches Christ of contentions, not sincerity, supposing to add afflictions to my bonds. In other words, some people preach a false God. Verse 17, but the others love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. Paul defended the gospel the rest of his life to the hill as much as anyone could possibly do. Also, we've got Jude, verse 3 says, beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of your common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that you should earnestly contend for the faith that was once delivered unto all the saints, unto the saints. We've got to be close enough to God to defend Him. Like I said, you can't defend the truth if you don't have the truth. And you can't have the truth unless you study to show thyself approved. Not only did he get too much within himself and depend too much on his own ability, which didn't depend upon God, and not only did he get too far from Jesus, he got too close to sinners. Look where he went when he came in. When he was following Jesus afar off, look where he went. In Luke chapter 22 and 55, and when they had kindled a fire in the middle of the hall and were sat down together, Peter sat among them. I've always heard the statement, if you get too close to the fire, you'll get burned. We've all heard that. I had a couple of nephews one time who tried to impress Shelby's sister. Some of you may have heard this before. They got too close to the fire. They were two silly little boys, well, they was teenagers. And they roasted marshmallows on the end of their finger. They were competing for her favoritism. Neither one got it. But they'd roast marshmallows and they'd pull it out and they'd eat off of it and then do it again to see how many times they could, trying to impress her. That wasn't very impressive. Sometimes we get too close to the fire and we show how crazy we really are. And Peter really got too close to the world here. He sat among the sinners. He put him in a place of being encouraged to deny. He put him in a place of being tested. He put him in a position of being among people who were not there. And 1 Corinthians 15 and 3 says, be not deceived, evil communication corrupts bad manners. So if we're involved in these people of the world, then we're more likely to communicate or act the same way they do. That's why we have to be leery and be sure about where we go, what we see, and what we do. We need to remember all of that and what we say. Don't think you can go among a bunch of people with foul language, foul mouths, continuing all the time, and you want something come out of your mouth that shouldn't. Or a thought come out that shouldn't. We need to avoid places, people, and positions. We need to do everything we can that will not lead us to deny Jesus Christ. Because we need to confess Him in the things that we do. We need to avoid being tied in with people who are evil in this world. Now, I'm not saying that a Christian can't be married to a non-Christian. Don't ever think I'm saying that. I'm saying tied in with them. And if you're married to someone, you're really tied in with them. But that can happen in your life. But I mean, I'm talking about like a business or something you're working in the world with people. You've got to be careful how you get tied in. Because if they're a thief and they get caught, then you're right in with them. At least you'll look that way to the law. Paul said in 2 Corinthians 6 and 14, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Because if you're yoked together with an unbeliever, it's unequal. For what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion has a light with darkness? You know what a yoke is? Big heavy piece of wood usually. And it sits on the shoulders of two cattle usually. So So if you're unequally yoked, if you're a big cow and there's a little cow over here who's going to bear all the weight, you are. So that's being unequally yoked. And in our lives, if we're yoked together with someone who is of the world, who is a sinner, who doesn't want, and I'm talking about a person that's horrible here, and they draw you away from what you need to be doing. 2 Corinthians 6:17 says, "Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, and says the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you." So he got too close to sinners. He cast himself under their influence. When you're sitting around a fire warming yourself, and it must have been near winter time, or it's cold out, cold enough for them to build a fire, and if you're sitting there and you're gathered around them, and they're your enemies, then you're going to be drawn into them. And you're under pressure. Once you put yourself there, you're under pressure. You could be under pressure of persecution. He denied it because of Jesus. He had a fear of persecution. So he compromised. Under the pressure to be popular. Everybody wants to be liked by people, wants to be well received. Under the pressure of conformity. We're just being like everybody else, and that's what leads us a lot astray in our lives. So we look at Peter here, and I want you to think about your own self. Sometimes we're too sure of ourselves, and we need to be very careful that we're not so sure of ourselves that we can't stand strongly upon the Word of God. Sometimes it's easy for us to get too far from Jesus, being somewhere where we shouldn't be, at a time when we shouldn't be. And sometimes we get just too close to people of the world and let them influence us in a way that is not good. So what do? So what do we learn from this lesson? We should learn one thing in particular. These other things are important. All of it is. I'm not going to read that. That's just for us to look at for a minute. We need to follow Jesus as closely as we can. In our spiritual life, in our physical life, and everything about us. And we need not to put ourselves in a position to where we can be forced in a way to compromise who we are. When we do that, such as Peter did, and we can fall. Don't think that we're above that. Peter's a man, we're a man. We're men and women just like Peter. We're no different. We follow God as close as we can, but we've got to be prepared to defend Him, and we've got to follow that line. If you're here today, and you're not a member of the body of Christ, you need to think about that. You need to think about where you're at in relation to the world, in relation to God, in relation to other people around you. If you're not a member of the body of Christ, you need to believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and that God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. So if He's a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him, He's not a rewarder of those who don't diligently seek Him or stay away from Him. You have to repent of your sins, and you have to confess Jesus Christ before men and be baptized for the remission of your sins, and continue that life on